Welcome to this new Football Manager 2018 experiment where we're going to be simulating an alternative 2018 World Cup. A few days ago, on one of my other World Cup experiments, this chap, Aleksandr, put together this comment suggesting an alternative World Cup using the confederation rules that are applied to the World Cup. So, for example, 5 teams from Africa, 4 teams from South America, etc. And he put together the teams that should be, the nations that should feature in this World Cup based on the real life qualifications. So for example, with Europe, all the teams that finished second that didn't qualify via the playoffs, and also the teams that managed to finish third in qualification, so they would feature in this World Cup. The likes of Syria that missed out in Asian qualification in the playoff against Australia. We've got the likes of Chile, who finished, I think it was sixth in the South American qualification, I believe, and then also Paraguay, Ecuador, and Bolivia, who finished behind them. You get the picture. All the teams that either were close to qualifying or were sort of that tier below the qualification teams. So that's what we're going to do today. So I have selected those 32 nations. I've not changed anything. I've just gone with what he said. So I've not double checked anything as to whether this is completely correct. I'm just trusting Aleksandr's nations that he's put together for me. I was thinking perhaps I should put Russia in just because they are hosting the World Cup, but then I didn't really know who to replace, and I didn't want to anger any of you guys from these nations by replacing them with Russia. So I've just left it as the 32 that he suggested, and I've put together a little draw. I did do it randomly, but I did make sure that there was not more than 2 European nations in each group. I also made sure there was no more than 1 South American or 1 North American team in each group as well, an African nation. So I've spread them out. It does seem to be the top half of the draw is quite strong. We've got the Netherlands in Group A, Italy in Group B, and Chile in Group C. So they might face each other in the early knockout rounds. But I think it's going to be fascinating. I am going to simulate this World Cup 5 times to see who can win it. I suppose realistically, you're going to think Italy should do well in this. Maybe USA can do quite well. But we might see a shock. I mean, Czech Republic have won a World Cup in one of my previous experiments, so I suppose that's possible. In real life, who do you reckon would win the World Cup out of these nations? Stick your thoughts in the comment section below. So here we have the alternative World Cup on Football Manager 2018. Let's get on with the simulations. So this will be the case of deja vu for those of you that watched one of my recent Football Manager experiments where Czech Republic won the first simulation. They've managed it this time by beating Italy in the final on penalties. It finished 1-1 at the end of 90 minutes. Gagliardini actually scored a 91st minute equaliser to save Italy after Mazuk opened the scoring for Czech Republic. But Czech Republic were too powerful on penalties in the end, winning 4-3, and the centre-back, Mazuk, got man of the match. Stellar performance from him. I'm surprised really that they've managed to win this, especially coming from the side of the draw that they have done. It's a tough side of the draw to get through. But let's have a look then at the group stages to see how they managed to get through to that final. So they actually topped a group consisting of Holland and Paraguay. Really impressive stuff. They won all 3 games. They beat Holland 1-0, Paraguay 3-1, and Trinidad and Tobago 3-1 to get through. Italy's passed to the final. Also a little bit tricky. Greece and Congo are decent teams. They managed to beat Iraq 4-0 and Greece 2-1 and got a draw against the Democratic Republic of Congo to go through with 7 points. Iraq, unfortunately, conceded a lot of goals. They did score. In fact, wow, they beat Greece 6-4. What a game. That's one of the best games in the World Cup ever, especially that we've seen in these simulations. I actually want to have a look at that because it's just pretty ridiculous that a game finished 6-4. That is insane. I want to see this. I want to see this at the real World Cup. Chile went through from Group C, as you would expect, along with Hungary, who only just scraped through ahead of the United Arab Emirates, and Montenegro, bottom of the group with only 1 point. Ivory Coast finished top of Group D. We've not seen them feature in any experiments so far because they're quite far down the world rankings, but they're on this one and they've managed to comfortably win their group after beating Slovakia 1-0 and beating Syria 4-1. Wales actually failed to get out the group because Slovakia went through in second. USA topped Group E ahead of Bosnia and Herzegovina, with New Zealand and Scotland. Poor old Scotland. They got a 2-2 draw against New Zealand but finished bottom of the group. Ecuador topped Group F with China finishing ahead of Ireland and Zambia. A little bit of a surprise there. They actually managed to beat Ireland 4-2, but Ecuador the comfortable winners in that group. Ukraine topped Group G ahead of Albania, who went on to do quite well in this tournament. 1 point ahead of Bolivia, with Uganda 0 points. And lastly, Burkina Faso topped Group H on goal difference ahead of Northern Ireland. Uzbekistan managed to get a win, but it wasn't enough in this competition. Honduras finished bottom of that group. So in the second round then, Czech Republic, easy win against Congo, 4-1. Really impressive win. Schick with 2 goals. He had a very good tournament. Italy beat Holland. Now this is a real clash, isn't it? Because Holland finished second, they had to take on top of the table Italy from Group B, and Belotti scored a hat-trick to send them through to the next round. Will Holland go on to win one of these simulations? I would hope so, but perhaps they're going to flop. Chile beat Slovakia in extra time. That was a good game. This is a really good game. Hungary 2, Ivory Coast 5. And strangely enough, even though Hungary were knocked out at this stage, this chap, Lovrencic, actually picked up the golden boot in the end, even though they weren't able to get past the second round. China beat USA on penalties. That is brilliant. So Ecuador go through, Ukraine and Albania also go through to the quarterfinals, where Czech Republic beat Ivory Coast 3-0. Very good win, actually, against an impressive Ivory Coast squad. Italy beat Chile 2-1. So once again, 2 strong matchups. Arguably the three highest ranked nations are Chile, Italy and Holland in this, I think, off the top of my head. USA are probably up there as well. Albania beat China, so China's dream ended here, and Ecuador beat Ukraine 1-0 to go through to the semis, where Czech Republic did beat Ecuador thanks to an 85th minute winner from Schick. Ecuador looked like a strong team, as do Albania. Good stuff from them, but Insigne ended their dreams late on as well. So the third place playoff ended Albania 2, Ecuador 1. Both these teams doing well to get to this stage, I would say. They've got some good players, but I wasn't expecting to see them in the semi-finals. But I guess with teams like Holland and Chile falling at earlier stages to Italy, it ended up with these semi-finalists. And of course that was the final. So like I said, Lovrencic picked up golden boot ahead of Schick, who had an exceptional tournament. He actually picked up the best player award with 5 goals and 4 assists and an impressive average rating. He's a good player. He's only 22, but of course he plays for Roma, so you're probably not going to be able to sign. I assume he plays for Roma in real life. This is confusing, actually. He's plays for Sampdoria. Maybe he's co-owned. I have no idea what's going on with Schick. I need to Wikipedia him. He's on loan from Sampdoria, according to Wikipedia, to Roma. There, that's cleared that up. Okay, best goalkeeper. Bangura, the Ecuadorian goalkeeper. Only conceded 5 goals in 7 games, picked up 3 clean sheets. Best young player went to Pulisic. We've seen Pulisic feature quite a lot in these experiments when USA have been involved, and he's involved once again. Dream team, a few Czech Republic players in there. It's quite a mix, actually. Insigne's up there, up front for Italy. And the goal of the tournament, won by a Greek player for Tunis. Let's have a look at this then. Against Iraq, who played a 4-3-3, the overpowered formation on FM18, although it didn't do much for them. They did score, to be fair, but they couldn't defend. That was their problem. Now let's have a look at the goal of the tournament in this 6-4 thriller. What a strike. Great goal. Let's go on to the second simulation then. So the second simulation was won by Ukraine versus Bosnia and Herzegovina. Kovalenko with a 33rd minute winner, despite Konoplyanka getting sent off. Both these teams did very well to get through to the final, considering they didn't really feature in the last simulation. I think this was going to have a lot of variety, this experiment. I hope so anyway. It's a mark of a good experiment if we have a few different winners, a few different finalists. The third place playoff was competed between Italy and Holland. So both of them reached the semi-finals but failed, surprisingly, really. And Belotti picked up another hat-trick. He gets his goals in bunches. Absolute thrashing. 4-0 for Italy against the Netherlands. So let's have a look to see how Ukraine got through to that final. Very different Group A. Czech Republic, who won the last simulation, failed to get out of their group, with Holland topping it and Paraguay finishing second. Italy won all 3 games this time around, beating Congo 4-0 in the process. Iraq managed to get out of Group B, which is great to see, considering last time they conceded so many goals. This time, very different performance from them. Group C, won by Chile once again, with Hungary going through in second. Wales and Slovakia from Group D, so Ivory Coast miss out this time. Wales topped the group thanks to a 4-2 win against Ivory Coast. And then Group E, Bosnia, the eventual finalists, finish ahead of Scotland, who go through. USA miss out this time, losing all 3 games. Really bad tournament from them. New Zealand actually managed to win twice as well, but just missed out on goal difference. Ireland top Group F, ahead of Ecuador, so China not quite successful this time, finishing bottom of the group, with Ukraine the eventual winners, going through from Group G, ahead of Uganda, who finished bottom last time. This is really, just shows the randomness of Football Manager, but I love it. I love the randomness. It's not predictable. We shouldn't see the same team going out of the group every single time, because these teams, some of them are pretty equal really. So it's nice to see some variety. Burkina Faso topped Group H with Northern Ireland second, so that's the same as the last simulation. Second round, Holland only just about beat Iraq on penalties. Italy, great game against Paraguay, winning 4-2. Immobile with 2 goals. Slovakia beat Chile 3-2. So Chile, despite having Sanchez, Vidal, Bravo, they've got some good players, they've got a good team, but for whatever reason, they're not doing very well at getting past the latter stages of this competition. I think they got to the quarters in the last one. Second round this time around. Hungary beat Wales in extra time to go through to the quarterfinal, so one better than last time. Bosnia, eventual finalists, beat Ecuador, who did very well in their last experiment, of course, to get through to the quarters. Ireland beat Scotland. Great clash that. 3-1. And Ukraine, the eventual winners, beat Northern Ireland 2-1, despite a missed penalty. And Burkina Faso beat Uganda in an all-African second round match. Holland then took penalties again to get past Hungary this time. 1-1 after 90 minutes. 2 players sent off in extra time. Dramatic game, but Holland come out on top. Italy beat Slovakia 1-0 despite Chiellini getting sent off in the 87th minute. Bosnia, easy win against Burkina Faso 3-0. And Ukraine beat Ireland 2-1. In the semi-finals, Ukraine, great win against Holland, who were very lucky to get to this stage considering all the penalties they had to do to get to the semi-finals. And what a win for Bosnia against Italy after extra time. Another red card for Italy, and it let them down this time. In extra time, Bosnia got the crucial goal. And then, of course, we've seen the latter stages. So, the Ecuadorian striker, top goal scorer, 7 goals, ahead of a different Hungarian this time with 5 goals, and Ben Woodburn managed to sneak in, the 18-year-old Welshman. Best player went to Edin Viska of Bosnia, with Florenzi coming in second. Best goalkeeper went to Buffon, still playing for Italy at the age of 40. Best young player, Ben Woodburn, with a 7.32, 4 goals and 1 assist in 4 games. Very impressive. This is the dream team, bit of variety there for you. And the goal of the tournament scored by Bonaventura for Italy against Greece. 24 metres, curling effort apparently. Let's have a look at it. That Italian team is so good. They've got so many good players. They should be winning this every single time, surely. But they've failed. They bottled it in the semi-finals. And that is a great strike, though, to win the golden, whatever it's called. Goal of the tournament, that's what it's called. Italy have managed to win the 3rd simulation. They beat Ukraine in the final. So Ukraine get to a second final in a row. Their side of the draw is a bit easier, so we might see them in the latter stages a bit more. But in the end, Italy were too strong for them this time around. Bonaventura opened the scoring. Konoplyanka equalised. Belotti with the winning goal in the 50th minute. Quite an equal game, but Italy come out on top. With the 3rd place playoff going to Czech Republic, they beat Scotland to this 3rd place on penalties, 0-0 after 120 minutes of football. But Scotland, much improved performance from them this time around. Let's see how Italy made it to the final. Then Czech Republic and Holland going through from Group A this time around. Group B, Italy topped the group with 7 points. They did get a draw against Greece, who finished bottom. Chile easily breezed through Group C. They're always breezing through the groups and then failing in the second round or quarterfinals, unfortunately. But yeah, easy wins for them in Group C, with United Arab Emirates going through with them. Hungary bottom of the group with 0 wins this time, 0 points. Ivory Coast won Group D, ahead of Wales. Slovakia also got 2 wins but missed out on goal difference. Scotland managed to get 2 wins to go through from Group E ahead of Bosnia. With USA bottom of the group, they managed to beat Scotland, but it obviously wasn't enough to send them through. Ireland topped Group F ahead of Ecuador. Zambia got 2 wins as well, but failed to get out due to goal difference. Lots of teams getting 6 points and missing out. Group G was won by Ukraine once again, with Bolivia coming in second place. Albania's first simulation, it seems to be a one-off from them. Honduras, though, and Uzbekistan. This Group H has reversed itself. Honduras and Uzbekistan going through with 5 points. 4-3 win for Honduras against Burkina Faso. Uzbekistan beat Northern Ireland 2-1. Excellent stuff from those two nations. The second round, Czech Republic scraped through on extra time against Iraq. That's a great looking game. Italy beat Holland. Once again, Holland failing. And Italy, despite missing a penalty, went through to the quarterfinals. What a win. Chile against Wales, 5-1. Wales had a late red card, but Chile they just murdered Wales in this one, didn't they? What is that kit from Wales, by the way? That's horrible. Ivory Coast beat UAE 3-1 to go through to the quarterfinals. Scotland beat Ecuador. This is a great game. 3-2. We've seen some great rounds, aren't we? Some great knockout stages. Ireland beat Bosnia on penalties. Ukraine absolutely murdered Uzbekistan 4-0. And Bolivia beat Honduras 3-0. Quarterfinals, Czech Republic and Italy just about went through on penalties. This is a great game. Chile once again having a very tough quarterfinal. It's just the way it's been drawn, I suppose. If you do want to see a part 2, leave a like on this video. I'm going to be doing some part 2s to some of the experiments I've already done, but with fresh new draws, so we might see a few different outcomes as a result. But this is a great game. Chile really unlucky because they did very well to get back into this game by the looks of it, but penalties was too much. What a win for Scotland against Bolivia, by the way, 4-0, and Ukraine beat Ireland 3-2. That is a fantastic game as well. Semi-finals, Ukraine 2, Czech Republic 1. Schick with a late goal. It wasn't enough. Ukraine actually missed 2 penalties, so it should have been a lot more comfortable. And the red card. What a crazy game that is. And Italy 3, Scotland 0 in their pink kit. Another controversial kit. It wasn't strong. They weren't strong enough to beat Italy. And then the third place playoffs, Czech Republic, we of course saw beat Scotland, and the final, Italy beat Ukraine, with Konoplyanka picking up the Best Player award with an 8.07, 5 goals at this tournament. Great stuff from him. He got third place in the Golden Boot, but Belotti with 6 goals and 4 assists, just ahead of Immobile with his 6 goals and 1 assist, gets the Golden Boot. Best goalkeeper went to Buffon once again. Best young player went to Harry Wilson this time of Wales, 21-year-old. Looks like a very good player actually. Dream team is 4 Ukraine players. We've got 5 Italians. Matt Phillips of Scotland in there, and Schick of Czech Republic, who's done very well in these simulations. And the goal of the tournament scored by a Ukrainian, Garmash, against Ireland from 25 metres. Let's have a look at this then. I do like to see the goal of the tournament. Yarmolenko, what a player, Football Manager legend, found Garmash. That is a great strike. So that's the end of the third simulation. Let's move on to the fourth one then. So in the fourth simulation, Italy have managed to win their second World Cup, second in a row, beating USA in the final 2-1. An own goal by Jorginho got USA back into the game after Belotti opened the scoring, but Marchisio in the 73rd minute managed to win it for Italy. So this is what I was kind of expecting, Italy to win a few World Cups, and they've managed to win 2. We've got one more simulation to go, so they have an opportunity to pick up a third. Look at the top goal scorers. Schick and Belotti, 10 goals and 9 goals. Lots of goals in this tournament by the looks of it. Belotti unlucky not to win the Golden Boot with those 9. Let's have a look to see then how Italy got through to the final. Czech Republic, 10 goals without conceding a single goal in the group stage. We saw them beat Trinidad and Tobago 6-0, Paraguay 2-0 and Holland 2-0. Holland did go through with Czech Republic though. Group B, Italy and Iraq went through. Really well done to Iraq. In Group C, Montenegro topped Group C this time around with Hungary going through. Chile missed out. They have been underperformers, haven't they? Slovakia topped Group D with Ivory Coast going through in second, so Wales missed out this time around. And poor old Syria lost every single game. 6-0 against Wales, unfortunately for them. Scotland topped Group E ahead of eventual finalists USA. Bosnia missed out this time around. Ecuador comfortably topped Group F, winning all their games, beating Zambia 4-1. Ireland went through with them. Ukraine and Albania went through from Group G. Ukraine, once again, very successful group stage without conceding a single goal. Uzbekistan topped Group H. Well done to them once again. Burkina Faso second. Probably is the weakest group overall. Northern Ireland finished bottom of the group. In the second round, great win for Czech Republic, beating Iraq 4-1. Schick with a hat-trick. This is why he managed to pick up Golden Boot, I suppose. Italy beat Holland 2-0. So Holland's having to face Italy again because they finished second place behind Czech Republic, having that really tough draw instead of being able to play Iraq, for example. Montenegro beat Ivory Coast 3-2 in a cracking game. Slovakia beat Hungary. Scotland beat Ireland in another clash between those two nations. Ecuador lost against USA 2-0. Burkina Faso beat Ukraine 2-0. And Albania beat Uzbekistan 2-1. Uzbekistan, a bit unlucky. They did get a 95th minute consolation goal. Quarter-finals then. Slovakia beat Czech Republic. Wow. Czechoslovakia. Italy beat Montenegro 3-1. And Scotland beat Albania on penalties to go through to the semi-finals once again. USA beat Burkina Faso 1-0 thanks to a Michael Bradley penalty. So in the semis we saw USA were far too strong for Slovakia. 3-0 win. I suppose a red card didn't help their cause in this one. Fabian Johnson scored 2 goals. And Italy beat Scotland 2-1. A 93rd minute winner from Belotti sent them through to the final. But in the third place playoff, great win for Scotland to finish third at the World Cup. Ritchie, Griffiths and Morrison with the goals. And then in the final, of course, we saw Italy beat USA. The Best Player Award did go to Belotti. He got those 9 goals, didn't manage to pick up Golden Boot, but he got a very good average rating and had a very good tournament. Golden Boot, as I said before, Schick with 10 goals, didn't get a single assist though. Best goalkeeper this time went to Brad Guzan, who picked up 6 clean sheets. The USA defence was magnificent. Best young player went to Pulisic, and the goal of the tournament, Dream Team, we had 5 Americans in it. They had a really good tournament this time around. And let's have a look at the goal of the tournament. Scored by Trinidad and Tobago. They finished bottom of their group, but they managed to pick up the goal of the tournament, playing a classic Christmas tree formation. I used to love playing the Christmas tree formation back on the old Football Managers. Let's have a look at this one then. Holland did beat them 3-1, but to score the goal of the tournament, that would be celebrated back home, I'm sure. Great strike from Andrews. Holland have won a World Cup. I'm so happy for them. I am so happy for the Netherlands and for you Dutch people watching, because it's been pretty painful. You've missed out against Italy numerous times, and this time around you've managed to go all the way, and you beat Paraguay 1-0 in the final thanks to a Vincent Janssen penalty in the 67th minute. It wasn't pretty, but you got the win in the end, and you've picked up your first ever World Cup. Ever. Remember? Actually, I won't remind you. You know the history. Let's have a look then at the group stages. So they topped the group. That was the most important thing. They had to top the group to have an easier ride through, because they kept finishing second and having to face Italy in that second round, and Italy were just too strong for them. But thanks to 2 wins, once against Czech Republic, once against Paraguay, they went through. In fact, what happened here? Yeah, they lost against Trinidad and Tobago, who finished bottom of the group. That's just a typical Dutch thing to do, I think. Italy topped the Group B. All 3 wins once again. They just dominated Group B. Chile, for the 4th time, have got through from Group C. They missed out last time, but generally they have been very comfortable at this stage, scoring 9 goals with no reply. Montenegro went through with them. Ivory Coast topped Group D with 3 wins. Slovakia went through in second place. Wales missed out, losing every single game. Syria have been unlucky here. The first time they've actually come close to qualifying, I think. USA topped Group E with 2 wins and a draw ahead of Bosnia. Scotland bottom this time around. The home nation is not doing very well. Ireland topped Group F with Zambia going through with them. Great achievement from Zambia. Ukraine topped Group G, and Albania went through in second place once again. Uzbekistan once again topped the group. I think that's the 3rd time. They've been the most successful team, arguably, from Group H. Northern Ireland, the only home nation team to go through, unless you want to include Ireland, and they don't really count, do they? Moving on to the second round, where Holland beat Iraq. So they had an easier ride thanks to finishing top. Janssen scored 2 goals and they went through to the quarterfinals. And this was massive because Italy were knocked out in the second round. Paraguay went in extra time and actually had a player sent off right at the end, but it was enough to beat Italy. Chile beat Slovakia, so they went through to the quarterfinals this time around. Montenegro beat Ivory Coast. USA, really good win against Zambia, 3-0. Michael Bradley hat-trick of all people. Bosnia beat Ireland 3-0, comfortable win for them. Great win for Ukraine against Northern Ireland, 5-1. Uzbekistan, they're able to get out of the group, but they're just not good enough to get past this second round stage, unfortunately. Albania thrashed them 5-1. Quarterfinals, Holland beat Montenegro 3-1. They're turning it on. They're playing very well. It was an own goal, actually, that got Montenegro back into it towards the end, but an injury and a red card didn't really help Montenegro, did it? Paraguay beat Chile in an all South American match. Chile, they've been the biggest disappointment. They haven't managed to get past the quarter-final stage. Paraguay do, though. Albania beat USA 2-1. Albania have done really well. They've obviously got some very good players. I don't really know much about them. I know the right back, but to be honest, hold my hands up, I don't really know. Oh, I know Xhaka, because he's the Swiss Xhaka's brother. But yeah, other than that, I'm not really clued up on Albania, I'm afraid. But they've done really well in this experiment. Ukraine beat Bosnia 4-2. Great game. We've seen some great matches, I must say. The semi-final, Holland beat Ukraine 1-0. Thanks to Jansen's pretty much scored every Dutch goal. Paraguay beat Albania 2-0 thanks to Aleksandr with 2. And then the third place playoff was between Albania and Ukraine. Ukraine came out on top with a comfortable 3-0 win. But Albania have done very well to finish third and fourth during this experiment. And the final, of course, Holland 1, Paraguay 0. So let's have a look then. Best player went to Aleksandr, the Paraguayan striker, 6 goals and 2 assists. Konoplyanka second, Haika of Albania third. Golden Boot went to Jansen. He scored pretty much every Dutch goal. 7 goals in 6 games. Great stuff from the 24-year-old. I forget how young he is, actually. Best goalkeeper went to the Dutch goalkeeper. First time we've seen him, the Barcelona goalkeeper, winning that award, picking up 4 clean sheets. Best young player went to Pulisic again. Great player, and he's managed to pick up that award again at the age of 19. Dream team consisted of 4 Ukrainians. We only actually had 2 Dutch players in there. 2 Albanians, 2 Paraguayans, and Michael Bradley as well in midfield. And goal of the tournament, lastly, won by a Greek player again against Democratic Republic of Congo. Let's have a look at this. Is it going to be a free kick goal? No, it's not. Mitroglou involved. Great strike. And he was injured as well. Even more impressive. So at the end of today's experiment, these are the final standings. We saw Italy win it twice, so they were the most successful team. They also managed to finish second and third, so they were consistently getting through to the semi-finals. Netherlands won it once, Ukraine and Czech Republic as well. Shout out to Ukraine, they did quite well actually. First place, second place and a third place performance from them. There was a bit of variety when it comes to Golden Boot and Best Player. In fact, we didn't see one player win it more than once. We saw Belotti win the Golden Boot and the Best Player award, and Schick did the same. But it's good to see some variety in this experiment. I've really enjoyed this one. This has been one of my favourites actually. So if you do want to see a part 2 where I do 5 more simulations, but I do a fresh new draw, so we have potential hopefully not to see Italy versus the Netherlands in the early stages quite so much, then please hit that like button. Let me know in the comment section below. But until next time, enjoy FM18, enjoy the World Cup. I'll see you very soon.